Hey guys, today I will be discussing why the formation of political parties was the most influential moment in the early republic. You might think that political parties were always Democratic versus Republicans, but you are solely wrong. To understand why the formation of political parties is the most important moment in the early republic, you're going to need some exposition. After the U.S. had successfully obtained its independence from Great Britain, it needed its own government. So they made the Articles of Confederation. But this government was so flawed the country was falling in ruins. The Articles didn't let the federal government do anything. They couldn't enforce taxes, regulate interstate commerce, or anything else. So they decided to rewrite the government into the Constitution. There were two different ideals on how the country should be governed. Federalists wanted the country to have a stronger federal government so it can have power and unite the states. But Anti-Federalists wanted a government that resembled the Articles of Confederation and gave the states more power. The two argued forever, both eager to change the opposing side's mind. But they eventually compromised that in the Bill of Rights, the 10th Amendment would state that the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to the states are reserved for the states respectively or to the people. This is a key point as the two ideologies take root. During the convention, the delegates appointed George Washington as the president and made Thomas Jefferson the Secretary of State and Alexander Hamilton the Secretary of the Treasury. These would both accumulate many tensions between each other, as Thomas Jefferson was a huge anti-federalist, while Alexander Hamilton on the other side was a strict federalist. This would create tensions in policy planning, as they wouldn't agree on anything. This was strictly highlighted in how Thomas Jefferson tried to fight against Hamilton's 5-point plan, which would assume the debts of all the states, create a national bank, lend loans to the general population to get the new U.S. dollar into the economy, tax whiskey, and tax imports to protect the home industry. Jefferson fought against this plan as he believed it gave too much power to the federal government. They officially compromised on 4 of the points to become law as long as the capital would be in Washington, D.C. Soon, people who supported Jefferson became Democratic Republicans and people who supported Hamilton became Federalists. The next major point in the importance of political parties in the early republic is the Adams administration. During John Adams's presidency, he had signed and made the Alien and Sedition Acts law. This law basically stated that you could be punished by jail time if you spoke bad about the government. This caused massive outrage, and since Adams was a Federalist president, this severely brought down the reputation of the party and ultimately forced many people to stop believing in the Federalist Party. Soon after, Adams left office and Thomas Jefferson became the 3rd U.S. president and the first Democratic Republican president. This marked a move towards the Democratic Republicans and away from the Federalists. The War of 1812 soon came after the British impressed American sailors and supplied Native Americans with weapons to fight the Americans on the western frontier. The U.S. lost badly to the British and trade with Britain stopped. During this crisis, the Federalist support had been at an all-time low, and this caused the demise of the Federalist Party and the complete control of the government by the Democratic Republicans. This era was known as the era of good feelings and ended the early republic. The reason I believe that the political parties were the most important thing in the early republic is because of the fight between these two parties and how that founded the basis of modern American politics and how it influenced the actions of the time. Thank you for watching.